This episode is sponsored by the Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races in West Virginia. Upcoming featured entertainment includes Buck Cherry on the 13th and Soulja Boy on the 21st. Details and tickets at HollywoodCasinoCharlestown.com. Must be 21 to enter the casino floor and attend a show. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Welcome to the newest episode of Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. I'm your host, Jason Fraley, picking the brains of the top filmmakers, musicians, and artists of our time. The rock band Sevendust performs live at the Fillmore in Silver Spring, Maryland this Saturday night. I spoke with phenomenal lead singer LaJean Witherspoon about the band's unique sound and powerful hits. Hey, LaJean Witherspoon. Hey, thanks so much for joining us on WTOP in Washington, D.C.
It is fantastic. Good morning, good evening. Wherever you're at in the world listening to this, it's a pleasure to be here, man.
Well, the pleasure's all ours, of course, because you are the lead vocalist of Sevendust, a rock band I've been listening to, probably my whole life, probably like since like middle school, high school.
But you all are coming. I'm an old man.
Relatively young still, my friend.
Yes.
All right. But of course, Sevendust is coming to rock the Fillmore in Silver Spring, Maryland on September 21st. Now, you were saying at the top that you have an affinity for Maryland. You're a fan of Maryland. Why is that?
It's just beautiful, man. The scenic views, it's everything, man. You know, you live there. I feel like I breathe a little bit better there than other places too.
Well, it depends. In the summer, it can be, with the humidity, it can be brutal. But we're going into the fall now, which is my favorite time of the year. I love it.
Absolutely. It's going to be beautiful. I look forward to being there.
Little leaves changing, a little football season. It's the best.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, definitely. Well, all right. Well, in addition to the beauty of Maryland itself, how about the Fillmore there in downtown Silver Spring? Do you all swing through there every time you come through?
I think we've played there before, man. But any Fillmore is a beautiful venue to play. The energy is always good, and being in a downtown area too, it's always hopping and happening. And I feel like this tour is just going to be fun. And a lot of people are excited to see the seasons run again. So it's going to be fun. We look forward to it. But I look forward to playing any Fillmores, and it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, it's right across the street from one of my favorite movie theaters, the AFI Silver Theater in Silver. For some reason, the American Film Institute's out in LA, but for some reason their East Coast location was plucked in Silver Spring. I don't know why, but it's a gem. If you ever want to go see like a classic movie, look up what's playing while you're in town.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Take pictures too. And I'm also a mantiquer. So if there's any antique stores around that area, I'll definitely be looking and picking up something.
A mantiquer. I love
it. Yeah, I made that word up just to let you know.
Well, it's officially a word now. It's in the record now. You spoke it into the air. So I guess AI or whatever the algorithm now, it has it.
Yes, I made it up.
I love it. Well, also in terms of the show, like I don't want to spoil the whole set list, but tease. Is it any songs from like any new projects you coming up, or is it like mostly sprinkling in like the greatest hits?
This will be the Seasons tour run, right? We'll be doing the Seasons album in entirety, and if it's not that, we'll do another set. We have two sets that we have an A and B set that we plan on doing on this run. Okay. So we'll figure it out and see how everybody feels once we get to the area. You never know. We've been in band so long. We kind of have a discussion, and somebody will say, "I never want to play that song again," and then somebody else might say, "Me either," and then three people might say, "Well, let's just try it." And then it's funny at these days now.
That's why you got to come to the show to find out.
There you go, exactly. So we'll figure it out, but it's always fun. I look forward to seeing what's going to be in the set and what songs we're not going to play. But we're going to give a great show, and it'll be fun, and it'll be something for everybody to enjoy.
I love it. Well, whenever I have someone like yourself on, like a legend of the genre, an icon of the genre, I always love to sort of paint your superhero origin story a little as well. So I know you were born in Nashville, but mostly grew up around like Atlanta, right? So what all did you grow up listening to? What was what was your jam growing up?
Man, well, I was born in Nashville, Tennessee. They called me a unicorn there because there's pretty much nobody else that lives in Nashville that's from Nashville these days. So
right.
I was born right in Nashville. My little brother was born and raised East Nashville. Let's see. Now, what was the question again? Because I just got brought back.
Oh, I was just curious what you grew up listening to in Nashville.
I grew up in Nashville. So not only country, it was R&B, but in Nashville, I would have to go every summer to Murfreesboro, where my grandparents, Big Mom and Big Daddy lived, and they were my Big Daddy was a Tennessee walking horse trainer. He was the first black man, Frank Witherspoon, to desegregate Tennessee walking horses in shows in like the 50s or 60s in the Hall of Fame and all that stuff. Anyway,
Whoa, wait, what
so
do you mean by walking horses? My wife and mother-in-law, that whole side of the family is big into the Chincoteague ponies here.
oh, they would know about a Tennessee Walker. Ask them about a Tennessee Walker. That was something my family, we're still involved in, and we still go to the celebrations every year in Shelbyville, Tennessee, where we still have the Witherspoon stables. But anyway, so going back to the question, I would go to the farm every summer and get down there, and the music would be blaring in the farm in the barn, and it wouldn't just be R&B, it would be rock and roll, it'd be just the Megadeth, and you might hear Ozzy, Black Sabbath, and stuff like that. So I was always around every type of music, and then on Sundays I was in the church with a dang robe on, singing, behind the preacher. So it was never a reason for me to be afraid of enjoying a type of music. My family and everyone around me always and just involve themselves in the music. And that's what I love. And around here at this house, man, you cannot not hear music playing. If it's not my son, found a damn harmonica, or he's playing his drums, his buddies over here with him playing guitar. It's just always a constant flow. I think music keeps us happy. You know what I mean? I feel like it would be a crazier world if we didn't have music and song in our lives.
Absolutely. And the house you're talking about now, as you said, it's Kansas that we're talking to you?
I'm in Overland Park right now at my main house.
Gotcha. Well, that's awesome. That's so insightful. I loved hearing the family history and the horses, and now it makes sense. All the different genre influences, you're weaving them all together from a young age. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people don't know I'm a country boy, so.
Well, that's all. There's a little bit of everything in all of us. That's
absolutely. A little bit of country, a little bit of country, a little bit of rock and roll, a little bit of metal.
Little bit of metal, baby, and Sevendust is born. Well, so all right, so that's the Nashville roots. Then you moved to Atlanta, because that's where Sevendust forms in '94. But weren't you in like a funk rock band, Body and Soul, right before that? So how did that shift happen to form Sevendust?
Oh my gosh, so Body and Soul was a fun band with some brothers of mine that were very young. We met working at a place called Hardee's. I was actually not even old enough to work there. I was lying to the manager about me getting a work permit, and I got fired.
A place called Hardee's. You mean the curly fries?
Yes. I was working across the street, Little Caesars Pizza, and they fired me because my neighbor was the manager there. And I was like, yeah, man, I'm old enough to work. And he's like, okay, man, just get that worker's permit. And I worked there for about 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks before he said, man, you're 14 years old. And I was like, yeah. He's like, you're fired. And I went across the street to Hardee's, and I met a gentleman by the name of Lee Banks and Todd Granoff. And there was always rock and roll in the back, and we were playing. And these guys had drums and guitars, and they were really good artists, and they went to a school for music and stuff. And we were still young, and they said, let's put a band together. And we put Body and Soul together. For some reason, the Atlanta scene loved these kids that just rocked it out, man. We had such a fun time.
That's a crazy evolution. Little Caesars Crazy Bread to Hardee's Curly Fries to Body and Soul to Sevendust.
Oh my God, I used to remember listening to Guns N' Roses and Living Color in the back of a Hardee's with the guys, and them saying, "Oh man, we're gonna play some music like this, and this is what we're gonna do." And it was just a very youthful, free time. When I think about how the world is now, it was none of that kind of stuff going on, and what a beautiful time it was. And I pray that in this lifetime, even in the future, that we can get back to those simpler times. If that makes sense.
Amen. Yes, absolutely.
Like
we've had Living Color, Corey Glover on as well in Living Color, but the fact that
my brother, he's awesome.
He's awesome, man. Shout out Platoon as well. Great movie.
But, oh my God, yes.
He's in that.
And the Army commercials he used to be in.
Exactly. He's so versatile. But the idea that you're listening to, Cult of Personality in the back of a Hardee's just makes me smile. Look in my fries. What do you see?
Oh man. Guess what? That was every man. You could any rock band you could name. We were listening to it in the back of Hardee's and in our cars, and that was just a fun time. Just music, period. And I feel like that's what's helped me stay and love the fact that Sevendust, we come from all types of genres of music, and that's what's so fun. Once we get in that room and we all just open that book in our hearts, and it's just like, let's put these pages together, and that's what we do.
That's what makes it great and unique, man. Well, wait. So,
Yes,
how
sir.
do you decide on the name then? What does seven? You've probably answered this a million
Oh,
times, but I'm curious. Where's Sevendust come from?
oh God, I hadn't heard that question in a long time. So back in the day, had the name Crawl Space and something else, and we thought we were going to be Crawl Space. I don't know why we wanted to be that dark at the time. That was just what was going on in the world.
Yeah.
Thought that was a silly name. But anyway, so this guy from LA or somewhere got in touch with us, not social media. It wasn't even really social media back then, somehow, and was like, maybe it was MySpace. He was like, listen,
He faxed
so,
you.
so yeah, I was gonna say exactly.
Hit your
No,
pager.
it was a freaking pony outside the house. Listen, so anyway, he texted us and whatever and said, "Hey man, my band is I am Crawl Space, and it'll cost you guys, I don't know, maybe like 5,000 or something, some ridiculous amount of money to buy the name." And he sent us his CD. He was an acoustic guitar player, and we're like, "Okay, check it out. You'll do better with that name than us, so you can have it." And one day, Benny Hornsby, our bass player, came in. We were practicing. And I think that was we were practicing and we had the Black Crows rehearsal space. We used to share that with them.
Nice.
And we were in there and Benny came in and said, "Hey man, this is Sevendust, but we call it Sevendust." And everybody in the country calls Sevendust is a pesticide plant. You've seen it in the stores. It's a kind of a circular cylinder thing and you spray it's like white powder. Anyway, on the front of it, it says seven, but it's actually Seven. It's Sevin and then dust. And he's like, "Man, Sevendust." We're like, "Well, we're getting ready to sign a record deal, so that's good." And as I sit back and hit a joint, and I was like, "Yeah, seven is a heavenly number. We're all created from dust." And everybody looked at me and said, "You're crazy," but that's kind of how I feel.
Oh, that is pretty awesome. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I didn't realize it was like a pesticide, like
yeah,
like a DDT, baby. But
absolutely.
but then like you're saying, it also can be deceptively profound because you got the seven, which is like biblical in a way, and then
That's
you got
exactly that's
dust,
what I
return to
yeah.
dust, dust in the
Yeah.
wind, little Kansas,
Yes.
we weaving it all together, baby.
There you go. I like the way you just made the Kansas in there, and I'm living here, and I've been here for a long time. Yes, it's even better. They can ask me that question more now.
Yeah, so well then feel free to take that and run with it every time
And
you're
I,
asked
will, I
something
will quote I will quote Mr. Jason too. How about that?
It would be an honor. All right. Well,
Yes, sir.
there's no time to go to all the albums, but I would at least love to hit some of the big hits that I remember growing up listening. So, that self-titled debut, Sevendust. No, Sevendust in
Yes.
97. The breakthrough,
I'm looking at a gold album, a few gold albums in one right now,
that was
and the
one of the
picture of
first like three gold albums, I think, Plaques on
yeah,
the Wall, right? So, but the
yes.
big breakthrough hit was Black. Why do you think that was such a unique hit right out of the gate? I mean, it kind of took us
Oh,
all by storm and we were like, holy crap, what is this band?
I just feel like, man, we were just that we didn't care. It was, voices call out my name. I just think we had a certain soul that
Right.
wasn't going on and just a certain angst that wasn't happening at the time. And Black just did so well for us, man. And it was fun. And still to this day, I love playing that song.
Oh, we love listening to. I was jamming out right before you hopped on, listening to
Oh,
it
right
again.
on. It still rocks, man. Music sometimes, not every song, but some songs you hope that are going to be timeless. And I feel like I pray that a few and a lot of our songs are timeless.
Absolutely, we should do a Pearl Jam Black mashup with Sevendust Black. There's got to be
What are
something
you
we can do.
talking? I freaking love Pearl Jam, man. That's all I've been jamming down at the lake is Dark Matter.
I'm just saying we should make there's Black, and there be a
Let's
mashup.
go.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
I don't think I have Eddie Vedder's number, but somehow you could probably pull that off better than me. But all right,
I
so
believe
that was
so.
the first gold album on the wall,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
the other you followed up with another one, Home in '99, Denial, Waffle, all kinds of good songs on
Oh
that one.
yeah. Wow. I see that. I'm looking
But
at that
yeah,
album
was
now.
there pressure to follow up, or was it like more freeing that like, all right, now we've made it, now we can kind of do what we want?
Let's see. Home was great because we were working. That's North Brookfield, Massachusetts, at the farm, and that was Toby, and that was Toby Wright. That was an incredible time. Yeah, it was more. We were more free. It was. We kind of had our legs under us a little bit. We've been touring. The writing process for us was a little bit. We had kind of got in our groove and everything. So yeah, I think that's when we really kind of found our niche and our groove.
Yeah, and then of course
And then you have Animosity.
yeah,
And wait, did I? Yeah.
2001 with Live Again and Praise. I will ask you praise. How'd you come up with praise?
Praise. What did you expect? Who's others under forget? Who really knows what's the truth? That was just a song that I felt like people forget who you are, and you have to remind them.
I love it. And thanks for, I didn't know you were singing during the interview. I love
I'm
it. I
sorry.
didn't know I'd be
Yeah,
singing during the
sometimes
interview.
no, sometimes I have to go back and sing the song.
I love it.
Well, hell,
I want
shit, I remember that song.
I want to do a special shout out to your all's exhibit collaboration. What you see is what you get. Was that like an
Oh
Aerosmith,
my
Run
God.
DMC, rock, rap, breaking down the wall moment for
Man, it
our
was crazy.
generation?
We never got to meet him. I mean, I met him in, years later, but we never got to see his face or anything. That was just something that, how the music industry works. Hey, you guys, they want you to do this. And it
Yeah.
was incredible to be a part of it, man. What you see is what you get now. I'm
Yeah.
gonna make that. I can't believe you asked about that. That is so, but yeah, for me personally, that was a very cool thing to be a part of. And also he was, besides him being on what was it, Pimp My Ride and everything that he did besides his musical career, he's an icon.
Love that dude.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I just invoked a little, breaking down the wall imagery, but speaking of break the walls down, didn't you also do the Chris Jericho theme on the
That
fourth
was
wall? And
that
well,
was
it's a cover of the original, but I love that.
that
You can
was
tell I'm a wrestling fan. I love that for you.
Thank you. Yes, me too. I'm a wrestling fan. Actually, I'm in talks right now. But yeah, the Jericho song was a fun song for me to do. It was easy, and besides me being a wrestling fan from back in the day, from Coco Beware and everybody else, up until today that I'm in talks with the WWE right now to do a song for another wrestler. So
Oh,
that's cool.
whoa. Who? Are we allowed to
We
tease?
can't talk about that right now. But
Oh,
I'm
okay.
friend. I'm friends with several of those guys, and man, those I got some good brothers out there in that community, and I love them, the way they entertain, and they are entertainers, and it's fun to see, and it's fun to watch, and I love the fact that they support all kinds of music.
Well, we can't say who it is then for the theme song, but you did say you're friends with several. So who are we talking about? Chris Jericho, obviously, for that song.
Oh
But
yeah,
who are
yeah,
some of your
Byron.
some of your buddies in the ring?
Well, Byron. Big Byron right now.
Yeah, of course.
He Yeah. So actually, his family is from Kansas. So anytime he's in Kansas, we all get together. And if they're ever the WWE, if they're ever fighting or performing here, we go and we sit right there ringside. Uh, we were just his brother and his wife's. His brother married this lovely lady. We were invited to the wedding, and Baron was there. So just cats like that, man. Mick Foley and his son
Oh,
uh,
love Mick.
hit my wife up on the DM and said, "Hey, listen, I got two sons that really love Sevendust, and they try to mimic, the guys in the band. And when you guys were playing Nashville, you think you can get in touch with LG?" She's like, "Yeah, hit me up." I'm like, "Oh my God." I immediately DM'd him and I said, "Well, if they're coming, you better come too." Sure enough, he was there with his sons, and I had my security pull him on the side of the stage. And right when I looked over, I could see Mick. Of course, it's huge, and just that little kid inside, just the butterflies, and just like,
Oh
wow,
yeah.
this is a legend over here that you grew up watching and just being like amazed with. And he's here with his sons, rocking out to your band. And after the show went over, and we hugged and said hello and exchanged numbers, and so it's just things like that are really cool, man. Just
Wow.
to see that.
Yeah, on the outside you're trying to be composed, and inside you're going, God Almighty, they killed
Yeah.
him. His
Well,
cow's my
no, I
leg.
did.
Broken in half.
I did, and I was like, "You guys know who your dad is?"
Well, you also did, what was it? Unforgiven theme, I think. Enemy. Yeah, Enemy was a huge song off of Seasons. That
Oh
was
yeah.
also used by
Oh,
WWE. So
oh
yeah,
my
you guys are
God.
all,
Yeah, Emery, what's it? Yeah, that's true. I forget about that stuff, man. We need to do some kind of catalog with all the songs that have just been involved with things. That'll be cool.
that would be really cool. Yeah, because Freddy vs.
Hmm.
Jason soundtrack, Leech, like
Yeah. Guess what? The Scream.
Scream, the movie Scream.
Scream, yeah, Scream 2 or 3. I got a plaque. I think that's at my farmhouse though. But yeah, I don't want to keep it at the house. It's so damn scary with that damn fast face on it, and it's
The
a hologram
Ghostface
plaque.
Killer.
Yeah, and when you walk by it, it changes, and I just don't like creepy stuff in my house. So I have that down at the farmhouse.
Yeah, I think it was Scream 3, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, Scream 3. Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
well, first of all, by the way, not to tangent too much, I don't know how much time you got, but
Uh,
but that first Scream, when remember the opening scene with Drew Barrymore gets slaughtered and he's the guy's calling in, "What's your favorite scary movie?" I don't that's some of Wes Craven's best stuff. That is scary as
Oh man, it's very. I was always been a part of that, man. And just I love scary movies, even though I try not to watch them too much at home by myself. But I did read today that watching a scary movie take, what is it, like however long, I forget how many minutes. I'm gonna say this wrong. I sent it to my wife, but it said it's like burning so many calories. It's almost like running for 30 minutes while watching a scary movie.
really.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
No, that makes total
I,
sense.
I kind of get it. I kind of get it. Just maybe because you're so worked up and just I don't know how many calories it burns, but it said it was the amount equivalent to running 30 minutes jogging. So I'm like, damn, I'm getting ready to do a marathon of scary movies.
It's like, no, did you eat healthy or exercise today? No, I watched
Nope.
Exorcist.
Yeah, exactly. 16 times.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. Damien and the Omen and Rosemary's Baby.
Oh
Now
my
now
God,
I don't need to
yes.
work out for a week. Thank you, Michael
At
Myers,
all.
Freddy
I'm
Krueger.
good. I'm good. Like,
Have you seen the what is it? I'm what am my wife and I watching it one tonight? Strange
oh,
Darling. Everyone's raving about it. Have you seen
oh
it yet?
no, but no, but now that you say it, I will watch it this evening with the family. Strange Darling. No,
Strange
I'm looking
Darling.
it
Well,
up.
it's in the theaters. But yeah, it's
Oh,
Stephen
oh.
King and Mike Flanagan. And everyone's raving about it.
No.
It's this new one. So anyway, I'll
I just got it. Well, your wife is doing that. I just got a text that my son came down last night and was like, Dad, are you into going to see Beetlejuice this weekend with us? I'm like,
yeah.
he's like, Saturday? I'm like, if we do the matinee, then Daddy will go. And I just got a text from the wife, 11:30 Beetlejuice. I'm like,
Oh, it
yeah,
just got
I guess I,
confirmed while on this call.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Beetlejuice, the
You
long-awaited
cannot make
follow.
it up. You can't make it up. So at least I'll be able to get out of there in time. I got to get. So my mind right now, I'm focused on being able to fly out of here to hit the Sevendust tour. So I don't like to do too many things. Does that make sense? Because I
Yeah,
feel like I'm losing time at the house. So
of
don't
course.
book the whole weekend like they try to do. So if you can get me at the movie at 8 o'clock in the morning, that would be better.
Exactly. Wait, you have sat him down and showed him the OG, Tim Burton Beetlejuice, right?
Oh God, and that's why we're going. Oh, they
Okay.
can't. My wife. Oh my goodness, you would think my wife was in the movie Beetlejuice. These kids know it so well, so it's fun. I'm excited about it. I look forward to seeing them laugh, and it's just a good time.
Oh yeah, perfect for this time of year too, as the seasons change, pun intended, back to your.
No one. Yeah. One thing I
Well,
don't like is my daughter calls me emo when I don't want to do anything, and I don't understand what that means.
emo. I feel like that has had a meaning back in like the early 2000s, and the kids nowadays probably have a whole different meaning for it now.
It is, and I don't know if I like. I'm like, I don't want to go. She's like, stop being emo. I'm like, okay. I'm sorry, I don't want to go to the Taylor Swift uh cupcake party today. Sorry. So I'm gonna say you know, not the
Exactly.
concert, the cupcake party. That's sorry. Sorry if I'm emo. All right, I'm sorry. I'm stepping on
Yeah, whatever emo means nowadays.
you.
Whatever, there's probably all kinds of I love it.
Yes.
I love it. Well, you've been hilarious and so much fun and generous with singing songs, and it's been great. So there's no
Oh,
way we can go through all the rest of the albums. But I guess there's literally so many. Gosh, I think you had after what we talked about. I think you had like at least 8 more land in like the top 20
jeez.
Billboard albums. So I mean,
I
you
know.
kept.
You would think I would have a helicopter submarine that I could fly around and just do stuff with.
I'll instead of going into all of them, I'll just remind our listeners of them. It was Seasons,
Oh,
Next, Alpha, Hope and Sorrow, Cold Day
mhm.
Memory, Blackout the Sun, Time Travelers and Bonfires, Kill the Flow. They were all, I think, top 20
Wow.
Billboard charts. And then more recently, you've had All I See Is War, Blood and Stone, and Truth Killer. That's a lot of music you've cranked out. Do you have, and this is probably a hard question, but if there's folks that only know your early stuff the big hits we talked about, if they've missed all of those other millions I just listed, would you have a
Mhm.
personal one they should go back and check out that you personally believe is like, I think that's some of our best stuff that maybe no one's talking about?
Oh wow, what a good question. Now I'm looking at these. Oh, that's what would be that? Uh, a song like Disease that we're putting back in the season set. A lot of the songs from Seasons didn't get a lot of play, so I feel like that's a good album to go back and listen to.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see, Billboard, Blood and Stone. There's some songs on there that I'm looking at this Billboard #1 hard rock. I mean, I feel like so. Listen to this, Jason. A lot of times I feel like, man, it's golly, we're getting ready to put 11 songs on this album, and only 2 or 3 are going to see the light of day. And what if these people or family or fans out there are not into listening to the whole album? And then you have this album that you got to try to reach to the people and say, hey, it gets deeper, it gets better. Don't just listen to the one song you heard on the damn radio. It's 15 more that are better than that one. You know what I mean? Just because that one got picked. So,
Yeah.
it makes it hard. It makes it hard as an artist to look at that. But I'm very proud of the success that we've had, the artwork that we've done, the names that we've created. And I wish that people could hear all the music one day. You know what I mean? Such a hard question to answer, but I
Yeah.
feel like there's so many songs that people haven't heard that they should hear.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully this interview this convo will be a primer for them to go back and be like, oh, I need to go check out this. I need to go check out that. So,
Well,
uh,
thank you, Jason. You have a great energy, man, and I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me.
game recognized game. You have.
Oh, yes,
I'm just mimicking your energy from Hardee's
I
and
like it.
Caesars and everything.
You rock, man. Every once in a while, I'll freak out somebody at the Hardee's. It's I have to go about 15 minutes away, but if I go past it, I can talk my wife into letting me run in there. And I've only done it like 3 times over the past year, but I'll walk in. I'm like, hey, it might be weird, but I used to work at Hardee's when I was a kid. And I was like, I don't want the big cheeseburger. I want the little cheeseburger, add bacon and mushrooms. And they look at me weird and they kind of type it in and they get them like 2 of them and they do it. And I'll walk out of there the happiest man in the world.
Well, here's how I'm going to tie it all together. Everything we've talked about. Ready? Because my brain is firing. Ready? You love Hardee's. I love Hardee's. So we're going to call up Triple H and we're going to be the Hardy Boys.
I like it, man. Let's go. That's the show right there.
Let's break the walls down of the Fillmore in Silver Spring on September 21st. Everybody get your tickets for Sevendust. LeJean, this is hilarious. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I love you guys. I'll see you soon, man.
All right. Be well. See you.
Thank you. You too. Awesome.
Thanks so much for listening to Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. Our theme music is Scott Buckley's Clarion. Remember to give us a 5-star rating if you like what you hear. We'll see you next time.